So let's talk real quick. I actually have something that we're doing at the office. I tried something because I knew we're hosting this conference and I wanted to make sure that I fail so I could tell you a cool story. So we have about 10,000 people on our media leaders list, and I was talking with some friends and I was watching some videos from last year's email marketing campaign, talked with some friends, talked with some people in the office, and we came up with something we did this week that was kind of successful. I want to tell you what it was. And how many of you have a list that's over 1,000 people? Okay, how about over 5,000 people? How about over 10,000 people? Okay, so 5 and 10. How about over 20,000 people? Great, awesome, very cool. I bet it gets really big. How big is your list? A million? And? A million. I'm glad I'm not, okay, I'll shut up in a sec. So, we actually sent out an email, the bottom 90% of the people that we feel like haven't opened enough, and the top 10% of people got a message like this. Hey, it's Josh. You are in the top 10% most engaged people on our list. I'm so thankful for you. I want to tell you about something below. Thank you for being a part of the cool crowd. Something like that, right? Anastasia in the back's laughing because I wrote this one. And then the other 90% that have not opened or clicked, or some people are going stale. It's harder and harder. And I wrote them an email that sounds like this. I said, hey, it's Josh. It looks like you haven't opened or clicked any of the last 3 or 4 or 5 emails. I want to make sure that I'm paying, and I literally told them, I said, we're paying $250 a month for my newsletter system between all of our businesses that we're in. I said, I want to make sure that you're getting the best stuff. If you don't want to hear from me anymore, click here to unsubscribe. I did this above the fold. Or click here to learn about our Digital Growth Summit and all of our other events. Click any link in this email other than the one above and you'll stay on our list. Otherwise, I'm going to remove you. I gave them 2 chances, 2 different emails. The open rate was average and a bunch of people unsubscribed. And I almost thanked them because I wrote after it, if you click this to unsubscribe, there's no hard feelings. And the reason is I'm paying for them to be on my list. And it hurts my open rate and my click-through rate because MailChimp is watching. They're like, hey, you suck. So I started emailing the top 10% exclusively, and I tell them, you're still in the top 10%, thank you for being awesome. And everybody else, they don't hear they're in their bottom, but they hear that they're not opening enough. They're free to unsubscribe. So that's one of our tactical tips we've been using this week, and it feels good to get people off the list. I'm actually trying to shrink my list to make it really, really clean. Do you have any tactics for that? Any tips, or how could I improve that?
So what you did is exactly right. So before we talk about that, I think that one of the things you need to understand when you talk about deliverability and getting in the inbox, you're basically being graded every time you send out an email by the internet service providers, by the Googles, by the Hotmails. So they're looking at a number of metrics. One metric that they're looking at is bounce rate. Are you sending to bad addresses? That's the sign of a spammer. Another thing they're looking at is spam traps. Spam traps are old, stale emails. So if someone signed up for your list 10 years ago and they're one of the 90% that haven't opened or clicked, that might be a dead email address that AOL or Hotmail or Gmail has turned into a spam trap because they're like, this person hasn't opened their inbox in 2 years, so if you're sending to them, you must be a spammer. So they're looking for spam traps, bounces, and then last but not least, they're looking at engagement. So they're actually looking at how many people open this email, how many people delete it without reading, how many people click. And so your chances of getting in the inbox rise if you have a clean, engaged list. So quality really is more important than quantity, and you should be doing periodic list cleaning to get the dead branches, off of your tree.
Yeah, excellent points. And just to piggyback off that, that's exactly what will get your email not delivered, to not clean. So definitely segmenting again, I think is extremely important. And Josh, your point of you customized your creative, and that's exactly what I think resonates. Because I know when I read the 10%, and that jumped out at me. So.
Oh, you got that email? Yeah.
I just wanted to add one thing to it. You also want to, if you've been doing email for a while and say you now think you're doing it wrong, there's another part that you want to look at is how many people are in each domain, right? So if it's Gmail, Yahoo, you might be already in a bad place with Gmail, right? So you want to be able to scrub the people out that are less than, say they have opened your email in about 12 months. take them out, send them a "are we breaking up" type of email, which is kind of what Josh did. It's a re-engagement email. Ask them if, we're not giving you exactly what you want. Is there something that we can provide you with that you're not receiving? You're very important to us, which is exactly what you did. You made them feel important. You told them, that you value them, but if this is not where they need to be, then that's okay. But look at your domains. Make sure that your deliverability is not lower in a certain domain or email provider, and then that way you'll know if you're on a blacklist for a different domain.